Hello. Today I'm going to play a lot of different things, if I can help it. Uh, and so, I was thinking what I would do is, every game is going to get half an hour. I'm going to put a little timer in the corner, a little speedrun timer. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean I'll be able to, I can't, set an alarm. I really need an alarm. So you guys need to tell me when time is up. Enough time to refund. No, all of these games have been given to me by developers. Um, Give me a sec. I'm gonna start with Dungeons 4. This is one I've been meaning to stream for a while. But keep forgetting. Yeah, let's see if I can get the timer in here. What do we do, like game capture for this? Does it even work? Not working. Music is loud. Okay, I guess game capture doesn't work for it. Alright, window capture. There it is. Kinda tiny though. Alright. I'll hit it when we start the game. This game, I think the dungeon games are all kind of like silly. This is just another one of those. You can tell it's silly because you can change your evil laughter. It's at 50 and it still sounds way too loud. Just turn the volume down a bit. Hand of Terror. I don't know. Seasonal music. There's a lot of little cool little things in here. I'm not gonna touch any of them. All right. Let's see what this game is. I apparently started a campaign.
Stand. Tanya set about destroying the last remaining heroes. Amongst others, her stepbrother Tristan. Once upon a time, long, long ago in... hell, well, you know the rest. The absolute evil had, in the fabulous predecessor to this game, taken over the entire overworld with its creatures. Now it's spent its time on debauched parties and... Wait a minute. The entire overworld? No! One small village of indomitable heroes still held out against the invaders. The unamused evil was beside itself with rage. But all this was about to change once and for all, because the remote controlling evil sent its most vicious general into the field, the Dark Elf Talia. Talia, also known from the fabulous predecessor, came back from her vacation in a thoroughly good mood. Before that, she had defeated her foster father, the paladin Tanos. This fact is important to note.
Uh-huh.
For this last remaining village of heroes was protected by none other than Tristan, foster son of Tanos and Talia's stepbrother. This proud warrior in shining, his handsome heroic chest accentuating armor, was the last glimmer of hope for the forces of good. Talia, who had fully embraced the dark side, couldn't wait to really kick her stepbrother's ass. And so our story begins.
Okay. And so our story begins. This isn't early. Shut up. It's not early. This is late. I'm late.
The last defenders of good were fighting for their survival. This seemed to be the perfect time for Tristan to make his appearance, the last mighty hero of the good races.
My brothers! In your eyes I see the same fear that would lead me to despair. The day may come when the courage of true heroes is extinguished, when we abandon our companions and all bonds of friendship are broken. But that day is still far off. Stand fast, heroes of the West!
I feel like I'm watching Warcraft
And with those
3.
familiar-sounding words, Tristan charged into battle to the cheers of his men. The heroes of good had managed to capture some of the evil creatures. Nevertheless, it was more than questionable whether a few minor victories and a brilliant speech could do anything against the absolute evil's armies. A storm of darkness and gloom descended, heralding the arrival of Talia, the absolute evil's general. This entrance not only panicked the defenders of good, but also seemed to strengthen the creatures of evil.
Hey, I'm back! Time to kick a little hero butt. Forward, creatures! Show me what you can do! Punch 'em smack dab in the mouth! Smash 'em in the face! Oh, and just as a precaution, get me my handbook of worn-out third-rate catchphrases. Ha-ha! If my eyes don't deceive me, that's my stupid stepbrother Tristan over there too, just waiting for me to lovingly put his head on a spear. Ha! Today is gonna be a good day.
Talia seemed to be very sure of victory. Some might find this puzzling, as it was the beginning of a long new campaign. But okay, maybe the rest of the missions are nothing but a string of debauched victory celebrations. Who knows?
This is extremely Stanley Parable. Alright, after all that, let's begin. Unit details. This is an RTS?
You pitiful opponents. I'm gonna massacre you. If I can just remember how that works again.
Fortunately, Talia's instincts took over at this point, something which wannabe pro gamers often refer to as auto-attack. Talia also remembered that she had a few skills that she could invoke whenever she felt like it.
Oh, right! Boom! That's how it's done.
All 666. This is predetermined, I think. There's something weird going on with the controls. It's like not...
Talia's mighty storm once again
It's just
stood
broken.
at her disposal.
Is it because I have a controller plugged in? Controller's not actually supported in the game, so that's not it. However, the controls are now working now that I've unplugged the controller. So, go me for figuring that one out. Mission-specific action. Could be found on the top right of the screen.
Once again, Talia's fury descended to plunge the land into blackness.
I did a skirmish of this game to see what it was like and make sure the settings were good.
Someone actually cage my subordinates. Ah, forget that. I'm the only one who's allowed to do that. Time to bust these things open. Pulverize them. Nuke 'em.
Just the Stanley Parable's narrator side thing after Stanley got out of the office. Yeah, probably. I don't know if this is actually him or not, because... I'm gonna turn down, like, all of this stuff, too. Because I feel like I can't hear all of the people over all of the sounds. Anyways, there's a normal Dungeons game in here, but it's starting out like a RTS. I don't know why, but we'll go for it. Whatever. It's a game. It's a campaign of a game.
A cage was destroyed and creatures were freed. Talia had freed all the creatures. Not to be outdone by her stepbrother, she too gave a brilliant speech.
Speech? Sure. Creatures! Time to punch the do-gooders right in the kisser! Forward! Punch them in the face, kick them in the shins, break their belt buckles so they trip on their pants!
Yes, very inspiring.
Good night. Do an attack mode, guys. What the heck? Can I do an attack? What is it? Okay. I'm like ignoring gigantic swaths of the UI here.
Talia had reached the center of battle. With another brilliant speech, she goaded her creatures on one more time.
Another speech? Oh. Ding dong, the hero's dead. That okay?
Honestly, I don't know if I can work with you like this. After Talia's words, the creatures surged forward and flocked to their linguistically under-talented leader, or would like to, but the defenses on the left and right flanks made progress impossible. Talia had to destroy them in order to receive further support.
There is certainly some kind of Stanley Parable comedy going on here. Some fourth wall breaking. I think the fourth wall maybe just doesn't exist at all, actually, in this game. More like a fourth window, if anything.
Hasta la vista, hero boy.
The hero's left defensive flank could no longer withstand the breaching evil's creatures.
I know this turns into a Dungeons game at some point.
The hero's defense collapsed on the right flank. The monstrous evil's creatures flocked to Talia.
Excellent. I can always use more cannon fodder. I mean, loyal subordinates.
I like the terrain transformation. It's really good.
Talia once again summoned her fury.
Talia, stepsister! You dare to show your face here after killing our foster father!
Yeah. Is that a trick question? You can see I'm here.
Oh, credits.
Thanos deserved what he got. And I thought to myself, hey, like father, like son.
You will pay for your deeds, sister. The light will protect me. Sister, turn from evil and come back to the side of good. See the power of light.
With these words, Tristan was bathed in a golden light that seemed to protect him. As if that were not troublesome enough, a number of magical portals opened at the same time.
Huh. As if this wasn't dragging on way too long already. Can't we just jump straight to the point where I greedily take over the world? Forward, creatures! Smash the portals! Flatten that magic junk! Pull the plug!
My brothers! In your eyes, I see the same fear that would lead me to despair. The day may come when the courage of true heroes is extinguished. When we abandon our companions and all bonds of friendship are broken.
God, he's really speechy.
But that day is still far off. Stand fast, heroes of the West!
Let's see why he's
Didn't you
scrunching
spout
me
that
up
same
here.
bullshit earlier? In exactly the same words.
No, not at all. I am known for my brilliant speeches, wicked stepsister.
I seem to remember that whenever you were supposed to speak in front of the class, we had to get a mop.
You'll pay for that. Onward, faithful! Destroy the evil!
All the magical portals had been destroyed, and with them, Tristan's shield went up in smoke.
That's the way I like it. Now, where were we? Oh, yeah. I was just about to kick my stepbrother's butt.
Sister, it doesn't have to end this way. Join me. Together we can still save the world.
Oh, can't you just die and spare us all the embarrassing melodrama?
And move on with the game, please. To the dungeons part? The interesting part, maybe?
Talia, this isn't the end. We'll meet again.
With these words, Tristan quickly created a portal and threw himself through it with the last of his strength.
Still smacking
The
him.
portal closed again behind him.
Treachery, fraud, cheater! This was supposed to be my
Wait,
victory!
Is that
And
Thanos'
what the hell kind of glove is that anyway? Looks to me like game design forgot to balance the thing properly.
Maybe the people in charge were still too captivated by your great speech. It brought tears to my eyes too, however, not of emotion.
As if the bird brains these evil creatures have needed grand speeches. A few skulls to bash in, and the social calendar for the evening is filled.
Well, each to their own. But apparently, Tristan had suffered a mishap, as the aforementioned magic glove still lay in the place where it was last used. It would seem that he had accidentally lost it.
Wonderful. This thing is just what I need. Très chic. I'll, just grab that right away.
And so our story begins.
So whoever said Thanos, what do you know? It's
Tristan had managed to give
Glove.
Talia the slip, but she had been able to capture his magic glove. The Gauntlet of Finitude, a fabled artifact. Unfortunately, UI overlays don't work in cutscenes, so Talia couldn't read just exactly what the glove did. Nevertheless, she proudly presented it to the Absolute Evil in its form as the Dungeon Lord. And so misfortune took its course, because at the same time, Talia wanted to demonstrate how loudly she could snap her fingers.
how original.
But this snap, which would go down in the history books as the Dungeon Lord snap, unleashed horrific forces that were discharged into the Dungeon Lord himself. As Talia rose to her feet, the gauntlet had disappeared, and the Dungeon Lord lay dying. Viewers often began to cry at this point, because it made them think back to the last really good superhero movie.
No, it doesn't.
Talia mourned for about 5 seconds. Talia had shattered the realms of good and served them onto the absolute evil on a silver platter, while it had actually done nothing at all. So Talia now became the absolute ruler. She had no clue about how to rule, but more than made up for it with hubris and consistently ignoring glaring problems. In addition, she surrounded herself with a staff of incompetent advisors. What could possibly go wrong? 10 minutes later, Tristan had captured Talia, locked her in a cage, and put the armies of absolute evil to flight. And so the story ends. We'll tell you how the story continues in overpriced microtransaction bites.
I think the game's trying a little
Wait,
too hard to be
wrong
funny.
Script. That's a different developer. Hang in there, I've almost got it. While Talia was ignominiously taken away, the unused essence of absolute evil continued to float through the ether. It wasn't about to admit defeat that easily, but for evil to triumph once again, it needed Talia back, for better or for worse. And so the swirling essence of absolute evil set about commanding the perplexed-looking chaotic hordes and freeing Talia. Hammer time! Round 2. The essence of absolute evil held the horde together and rose to the challenge of vicious dwarven engineering.
I might just leave the campaign and just do the skirmish if this doesn't actually do the game at this point.
Tristan! Let me out of this damned cage, you stupid little good elf.
Actually, no, I'm just gonna skip
Otherwise,
this
I'll
because I
have
feel
a
like
hard
I'm. Oh
The
no!
wafting
Wait,
evil
huh?
had to get rid of that dwarven contraption.
I am
on the
in the
overworld,
dungeon now.
as it posed
Okay.
a threat to the
Hold on. All right, we know that we actually get to the game, so let's restart this and actually pay attention, I guess.
Tristan! Let me out of this damned cage, you stupid little good elf. Otherwise, I'll have a hard time wringing your scrawny neck.
That's a terrible looking
What
cage.
the hell do you want from me anyway?
Talia, stepsister, your deplorable deeds must not go unpunished. You have slain our foster father Tanos, a blasphemous affront to our goddess, whom you, to top it all off, have also slain. But we will have plenty of time to argue on our journey. I am here for the stone. Brynhild!
Yeah, but I'm actually curious how she gets into the dungeon.
You little cutie. Oi! Go on, you lazy locks. Get that destroyer of worlds class hammer going.
Wait, are they planning on
Talia
just?
had been captured. Only the bubbling around the place essence of absolute evil could save her. It was amusing to leave Talia in the clutches of her brother. But on the other hand, without her help, the shapeless evil would probably just roam the countryside as a disembodied something or other, and at best be hired for third-rate horror movies. Fortunately, a forgotten dungeon heart lying in the underground could quickly be reactivated. Together with the creatures of the Horde, it would be easy to smash the do-gooder heroes there to smithereens.
Oh, am I the? Oh, okay.
The wafting evil had to get rid of that dwarven contraption on the overworld, as it posed a threat to the underground, and with it, the dungeon heart. It was therefore necessary to build a mighty dungeon, or rather, to have one built, because, as a wafting essence, the disembodied evil could not do much itself.
Okay. Okay. Now we got a game. Now we actually got a dungeon game going on here. So I am the essence of the evil is the thing, and this is my hand, which very much reminds me of Black and White, and makes me miss that game and miss God games in general. Like, I don't know. I say God games in general, but like the what's the game that just like hit 1.0 that I've had in the waiting to play? The Universum that came out. That's a God game. But like, I think I just want another game that controls the way Black and White did, you know, because it was a sandbox and you were a hand, and you really, really felt like it was this physics sandbox that was a lot of fun to play. I want another game like that. It's just kind of weird to me that like people still do make God games. I'm playing one right now, but none of them dare to do what Black and White did. What's this? I'm just gonna click on the question marks, even though it doesn't really tell me what I'm doing when I do it. Oh, you want to make this a treasury? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
The gold-hungry evil had built a treasury. The meager amount that could be stored in the throne room was simply not even close to enough for a proper gold bath.
Okay. So that's research, army, creatures, traps, rooms. Simple enough. I just clicked something and I don't even know what it was. The Gobbler Farm. I assume that's going to be the next thing on the menu. I have to research it. Okay. Something about this user interface feels off to me, and I'm not sure.
Gluttony-loving evil had built a gobbler farm. Here, delicious gobblers were raised to serve as food for the horde.
Eh?
Payday! Creatures are collecting their pay.
Oh, I didn't want to. Hold on. Wait a minute. I don't want this to be a room. How do I check? Ooh. I'm like trying to rotate the camera and it's not working. Gobbler Farm. No. No. Yes. There we go. Okay. Wait, is there supposed to be a rotate? I don't know. What are these guys doing? Or are they going back to sweep? Is it vitally important that the heart room be swept? Oh, they just... It's like, it has something to do with like the amount of room they have to do their work, I guess. Yeah, so there's like, this is what I saw in Skirmish. There's two different maps. There's your underground map, and that connects to the overworld map. And considering what the previous mission was like, I think once you're on the overworld map, it turns into like an RTS. But in the underworld map, it's a city builder. So they're trying to do something kind of neat here. Maybe.
The sheltering evil had built a hideout for the horde's creatures. These could henceforth build themselves a place to rest there. The army-raising evil had recruited its first creature, a bit underwhelming considering that it was sitting on the throne of the gods a short time ago. But fresh starts are never easy. The evilest evil could use the Hand of Terror, not only to intervene, but also to lend its little snots the impetus they needed by giving them a spirited slap.
This is an interesting thing to mention. Dungeons 4. Alright. pick stuff up. Put it down, which is interesting. So in a way, they kind of tried to do a little black and white thing, considering the whole pick up, put down thing. Slaps. I have to slap.
The lashing out evil had struck one of its creatures. It was not amused. Such acts were more likely to be successful when performed on little snots. The attitude adjusting evil had struck one of it. The detestable evil had earned some delicious evilness. Excellent things could be done with it, such as exploring new stuff. However, first, a place had to be found where the evilness could be stored. The absolute evil quickly built a vault of evilness.
All right. No, it's wait, what's beat the backlog? I'm not defeating the refund. This is all these games, all the developers of all these games gave me a key. I'm just trying to, I think I'm trying to beat the backlog is what I'm trying to do. Because it's a backlog. This game in particular, I think I was supposed to play like 2 or 3 months ago, so but that should be the oldest one, is this one. That's why I'm starting with it. And then at 30 minutes we'll move on to the next game, and so on. I never heard of beat the backlog. The Pat stares at thing. Oh, okay. I know that, like, Eric's has a thing he does that's similar, but I think he buys all his games and then he refunds them. I don't know. I don't actually know for a fact. I wouldn't be too surprised if he also just gets keys. But I've seen him play games where, like, I didn't know how he got them, because it was, like, before they were coming out. It wasn't a demo, and I couldn't find it on any key site. So... But also, he's a partner, and I'm willing to bet that he got stuff through Twitch's bounty program. So what is this evilness?
How long is this?
The glamorous evil had built a vault of evilness. This allowed it to henceforth store evilness and use it.
Oi! No need to sit around being lazy when we could be picking up a little gold while we're here, eh? On you go, lads! Grab the nearest gold vein.
Sooner or later, the greedy dwarves would dig their way into the dungeon. The perfidious evil used a workshop to prepare traps to stop the gold-stealing dwarves in their tracks.
Who, me? I have to level this up again. We go to traps. We'll get a trap room? Workshop?
Technological
Workshop.
progress has almost always been a fine thing. Further research could not only make new units or rooms available, but also increase the maximum number of little snots or creatures. The hard work allowing evil had built a tinkerer's cave. Here, little snots could use the work units to make toolboxes, which were needed for the more extravagant dungeon accoutrements.
I got upset over the implication that he refunded what he didn't like. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, honestly, I think it's kind of gross to refund a game that you streamed. So I get that. I don't actually want to dig that. Okay. Because the thing is that, like, there's a transaction you're making when you stream a game. And I think refunding that transaction is kind of a dick move. So I see. But beat the backlog is like that assumes that everything you're playing was a backlog, which I don't think Pat was doing. Whereas I have a backlog. I got all of these keys that I need to stream. Are they what's going on exactly here? Just to build toolboxes, which you need to build. Whew. Or units of traps. So these. Wait, no, that's just the workshop. Wait a minute. What? Okay, never mind. Okay, I don't do that. They wait until they've produced the, okay, so they're producing them right now. That's one. Do not need to carry it. I just slammed it on the ground, that's cool. Still have two, okay. I only refused one of the games that didn't even make it on stream. Oh, only refunded one game, okay. I mean, my timer is just to keep the stream moving. It has nothing to do with the game itself. Whether I like the game or not, I'm killing it after 30 minutes. Whereas Eric's did a thing, although I think he stopped doing it, where after 30 minutes he would ask his audience if they still wanted to watch that particular game. If they did, he'd play it for another half hour before moving on. But then he kind of came to the realization that chat didn't always make the best choice. So now he just streams whatever he wants for however long he wants, I think. Although I think he still does have the timer. He just decides himself whether or not to keep playing.
Creatures are collecting their pay.
But a spike trap, because that's being done.
The cunning evil had placed the first traps. This would make it much harder for the greedy dwarves to steal the gold from the treasury or even destroy the dungeon heart itself.
How long they're taking. Why are they so slow? Whereas my dudes are super fast. I have really, really good dudes, I guess. Oh, I was holding this dude this whole time. Whoops. No, let go. Let go of him. I don't need them. Why was I just carrying all this? Oh, because I hit this? Oh, okay. Oh, select all creatures. Pick up snot. Got it, got it. I think what this game is missing is like a speed up time thing. Any refunds are due to broken controls or unable to be captured on OBS. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just like something I clicked. Yeah, okay.
Oi! Something dug into my little goat boy. Yeah! And it had to be stinking orcs, whose skulls are at best used as toilet paper holders in the lavatory. Okay, boys! Tear this joint to the ground!
Dwarves had opened a passage into the dungeon. The little snots immediately executed Order 67, as they had been instructed to do by Talia in such a case, which meant that they ran through the dungeon with their arms flapping wildly. At the same time, they opened the secret trap cache, so that the tricky evil could give the dwarves a very warm welcome.
And then they kind of
The
ran past
insidious
it.
evil's traps had struck once again, taking a hero in their wake.
Your throne room is under attack.
That single trap was bad.
Oi! Did you little honey buns forget your little baby bottles? Or how did you manage to lose to a bunch of lousy orcs? But oi, we still have some reinforcements here. Reinforcements? Attack!
Obviously, the danger from the dwarves had not yet been neutralized. Luckily, the little snots had made a few traps in their spare time, and they were only too happy to make available to the all-consuming evil.
They're all like gonna get themselves killed because they're so busy trying to reinforce the walls of the mine that the dwarves made. Build trap 0 of 9. Well, yeah, it's certainly a dungeons game. I think if you've ever seen these games, you know what
The little
to
snot's
expect.
trap glittered and gleamed. Soon, gold-hungry dwarves would be biting their teeth out on it as they unknowingly fast-tracked for a quick demise.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
I don't feel like the campaign in this game is anything to write home about. Just gonna go ahead and do this real quick. There's a skirmish. There's also a co-op, which is interesting. Yeah, if you just go and look at a skirmish map, you can see that this is, you know, your basic dungeons
It
game.
was time to clear out the hero camps
Don't care.
located in the area.
So yeah, you got your above ground, you got this whole big map to deal with, and you got your underground, and where it connects to the above ground is something like this, I think. So yeah, you want to like build into places, come up from underground, kill stuff, you're done. So yeah, that's the game. That is Dungeons 4. It seems like they got the guy. I don't know if it's the guy though. Hold on, let's take a look and see. What's his Stanley Parable narrator actor? Not a strong start. Yeah, Kevin Brighting. IMDb. Kevin Brighting. Kevan with an A. Kevan. That is, in fact, Kevan Brighting. He did this game after he did the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. He's not in a lot of stuff. He was in Void Bastards. Damn, that's a game I want to go back to. He actually was in Dungeons 3 and 2 as well, but not Dungeons 1. So I guess he's just like on Dungeons. All right, well, we'll move on to our next game in a little bit. I'm just gonna have a shorter BRB, so I'll be right back with the next game. See you in maybe like 2 minutes. See you in 2 minutes.